The new U.S. Secretary of State once again pledged to rejoin the JCPOA, or Iran nuclear deal.
President Biden has been very clear in saying that if Iran comes back into full compliance with its obligations under the JCPOA, the United States would do the same thing.
But there is still a great deal of ambiguity about the new administration's approach. Sometimes officials around Biden appear to be saying the administration will rejoin the JCPOA as it was, with no change, lifting the U.S.'s crippling economic sanctions concurrently with Iran's return to compliance, while leaving open the option of follow-on deals to address other issues of concern. That did seem to be what Blinken said on Wednesday. But at other times, they suggest the U.S. will use its economic leverage to strike a tougher deal before it lifts sanctions.
We are a long ways from that point. Iran is out of compliance on a number of fronts, and it would take some time, should it make the decision to do so, for it to come back into compliance, and time for us then to assess whether it was meeting its obligations.
Both Blinken and Biden have repeatedly pledged unconditional military aid to Israel, and that the U.S. embassy will remain in Jerusalem despite the occupation. And it's clear that the Israeli government understands Biden will be a close ally.
We are in front of the era of a new American administration that is friendly to Israel, and we will know how to start a correct strategic dialogue in the near future. We will use all the tools available to us, politically, economically, intelligence, and security.
But some wonder if the Israeli government is concerned about exactly where the Biden administration stands.
They have the very real prospect of the United States and Iran resuming negotiations at a very high level. These are things that the Israelis are trying to grapple with, and they're doing so by, in my view, really kind of trumpeting up a threat from Iran that has not changed in the past several weeks.
Iran, meanwhile, continues to reiterate that it will return to compliance to the Iran nuclear deal once the signatories decide they really are prepared to abide by the agreement.
If they rejoin the deal, we'll do so as well. And for an entire year, we kept going forward this way. But we've always said, as soon as you return to the deal, we'll return to full compliance the next hour.
In the meantime, the Biden administration is sending conflicting signals, even on Tuesday sending a B-52 bomber on a round trip from the U.S. to the Gulf in a show of force aimed at Iran used by the Trump administration several times in the dying days of its presidency. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, the State Department.